I have a family friend who moved to the States or he came to the States on a visa in 2013, and he got arrested in Philadelphia for white-collar crime, fraud for over $45,000.
Right.
However, he was locked up for about 5 or 4 months. I can't really get into details because he want to hire you. But he was doing something, and whatever he was doing, they gave him DACA because he was on a visa, but he was married. His wife abandoned him when she found out that he got in trouble, but they never filed for paperwork or anything at all. So he eventually came out. He did what he had to do, and they promised him, and then they leave him alone. They tricked him. However, he eventually filed for SCAT, asylum, and withholding because he was on a visa.
All right, so basically he was on DACA, he did something bad, he was put in removal, he applied for something called CAT, which is Convention Against Torture, withholding of removal, basically saying his life's in danger if he goes back home. So what happened?
And he went to the interview, and they told him to come back for a decision. He went back for the decision.
There wasn't an interview, it was a court case.
Well, when he went there and they said come back for the decision.
What was the end result?
The result was he went to immigration court. When he went to immigration court...
What was the end result in immigration court?
They basically put the court off for 2021.
Okay, so he doesn't have a final hearing yet. His final hearing's in 2021 for his CAT case and withholding. That's where he has to have his trial and present all his evidence. So he's going to need a good lawyer. Hopefully he has a fear of going back. Other than that, he's
going to hire you. But the thing is, when he went to asylum, when he went to the interview and they denied him, they didn't tell him on the paper that, hey, they said the reason why they're denying his case is because he overstayed. So his lawyer is saying, hey, they didn't put up, even when you went to the immigration court, they didn't say that you have a criminal court, so you can go married and adjust your status.
No, you can't, because what you're saying is, when they put him in removal, they charged him just as being here out of status.
That's correct.
Not that he had some
aggravated felony.
Aggravated felony.
Yes.
Okay. Just because they did not list every reason to deport the man doesn't mean that they can't amend the deportation, the notice to appear in the future, to add additional allegations if he shows up and gets married.
Right.
So that's not going to work. I mean, the immigration's not stupid. They know the man was in jail.
Right.
So gutting back. So his lawyer's saying, "Oh, they didn't charge you as an aggravated felon, so go get married." They'll amend the notice to appear tomorrow.
Right.
It's ridiculous. Hold on, he needs help. I don't know the answer, but hold on, he needs help. The answer is hopefully he has some fear of returning home, or he has no case. All right. So hold on 1 second.
Last year, my I-130 was approved, and they sent back to me for medical, photograph, and change of status fee, which I sent off. They approved in March, and I sent back the stuff in May to them. And even now, I haven't heard anything. My work permit expired. I renewed it, and I still haven't heard anything.
How long has your adjustment been pending?
From last March.
Since last March. Is this a marriage case?
Yes.
Okay, so if it's been pending since last March, you still haven't got an interview, you're now a year and a half into this, you got three choices. And I answer this question every day on my show. It's like I'm a broken record. I feel like Joe Biden for a second, because Joe Biden said he was a broken record. Everyone's like, I can't believe that Joe Biden, you remember that? I can't believe Joe Biden is referencing something that didn't happen for 30, there's been no records for 30 years. That's how old the guy was. Now I feel stupid because I'm not as old as Biden. I'm saying broken record. All right,
my friend just sent me the link, and this is my first time on the show.
Okay, fine. All right, all right, so this is the story. Okay, you got three choices. Okay. Choice one is do nothing, sit on your hands, and eventually you'll get a decision. Eventually you'll get an interview. I have no idea when. Okay. It could be tomorrow, could be in a week, could be in a month, could be in a year, could be literally, I've seen cases take over 3 years to get an interview. Okay. The second choice is you can call immigration yourself. You can go down to immigration to talk to somebody. When you call them on the phone, you're talking to an outside contractor. All they're going to do is put in a request to say, so-and-so called, and they want to know what happened to their interview, and you'll get a letter back in a few weeks that says, pending. If you go down and you speak to someone at immigration, you're going to get the same thing. They're going to say, write a note, put it in the box, and somebody will get back to you. And you're going to get a notice back in a few weeks. Your case is pending. We'll get back to you shortly. You can go to your congressman or congresswoman, your senator. They'll write a letter on your behalf. And then they're going to write back to you and say, your case is pending. It'll be, a little bit. And it's basically all you're doing is shuffling paper, wasting time, wasting resources, but it's doing any one of those three doesn't make your interview come any faster. The only thing it does is maybe reduce your anxiety a little bit to know that, yes, my case is still pending. They didn't forget about me. That's it, but it's not making your case go any faster. The only way that you're going to make your case go faster, if your adjustment's been pending more than a year, is you file what's called a mandamus action. And a mandamus action is a litigation against the federal government to say they're violating your rights. Why are they violating your rights? Because you're married to an American citizen. You are what's called an immediate relative. An immediate relative is immediately eligible for their green card. That doesn't mean, immediate doesn't mean tomorrow, but it certainly doesn't mean 18 months later. That's not immediate either. And as soon as you file this litigation, time and time and time again, you get an interview within a matter of 2-3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then at that interview, that officer is really treading very lightly on your case because they don't want to be sued a second time. They want to make sure everything is done perfect. So my advice to everybody whose case is pending more than 12 months, hasn't gotten an interview, should be getting an interview, is you file a mandamus, because a visa delayed is a visa denied in my book.
I actually wrote them down, so it'll be super easy.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, the first one is my dad is married to my stepmom now. She came in on a visa. They've been married for about 6 months. She's here. She lives in New York. What should she do? He's a permanent resident, though. What should she do?
Has she overstayed her time?
Yes, she has.
He should have put in her adjustment while she was still in legal status, because he could have done that. The moment she overstayed her time, unfortunately, her choice is file for her and she goes home now, and hopefully she hasn't overstayed more than 180 days, and she goes home and waits home 2 years, 3 years for her green card, or she waits for him to become a citizen here.
Okay, so should we wait for him to become a citizen and then file for her?
How long has it been since he's had a green card?
He's had his green card like 10 years.
He should file his citizenship yesterday.
Okay, so I'm going to get on that.
File his citizenship yesterday, and as soon as he becomes a citizen, the next day put in her adjustment.
Okay, perfect. Second question.
Yes.
VAWA, any VAWA update?
I wish I had. It's so funny because I even looked over the weekend, and I don't even see. Not only do I belong to AILA, and AILA is American Immigration Lawyers Association, and they usually give updates on everything that's going on. I haven't seen anything. I even looked this weekend, and then when I didn't see anything on AILA, I actually even did a search in news just to see if there's any newspapers. There's nobody.
Yeah, I've been searching too.
There is nobody discussing it, but it's over September 30th, so we'll know. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I wish I had more information. I don't.
Okay, so if they deny VAWA, what's going to happen? Like,
that's another question. Well, people who haven't filed VAWA, you're out of luck, okay, until they extend it. And then there's going to be people in 3 different situations. People who filed in 2019 after the law expired. The law actually expired October 1st, 2018, but it's been funded through September. So they've still been accepting applications, although the law has actually expired about 11 months ago. That's one group of people. They're probably in the worst position, the people who filed from, October 1st, 2018 to September 30th, 2019. Then you have people who filed before that while the law was in existence who didn't get their I-360s approved yet. They're in a different group. And then there's another group who filed before that who already have their I-360s approved. They've been approved for VAWA, and they just have a pending adjustment, and the government's just been delaying. Those people are probably in the best situation, but what will happen most likely is immigration is not going to act on any of these cases, and then unfortunately for the victims of abuse, they're going to have to spend more money on lawyers like me to go sue the government because they never did their job in the first place, because they should have approved these cases from a while back. Because VAWA cases is just like the case that we just talked about before, which was the immediate relative. VAWA is immediate too. So if you delayed a VAWA case for 18 months, 2 years, 3 years, whose fault is that? Is it my fault or is it the government's fault? They should have approved this in 6 months. So I don't know what's going to happen. All I know is there's going to be a lot of litigation.
Okay, my last question for you. My mom lives abroad, and my brother, he is a U.S. citizen. What form should we file for mom?
I-130.
I-130. Okay.
All right.
Well, Brad, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Be well. Your sister is a U.S. citizen, and she has a daughter.
Yes, right.
And
but she didn't put her daughter on the application.
Application for what?
But how can you file? Once you turn a citizen, with the daughter being underage, can she automatically get status?
Does the daughter have a green card?
No, she doesn't have anything.
Where's the daughter now?
She is here.
Okay. How old is the daughter?
Right now, she's 25, but when her mom became a citizen, she was 13.
And the mom did nothing for her all these years?
All these years, mom did nothing.
What's wrong
for her.
with this mother?
She need a beating.
She does. And it's sad because I hear this a lot. Not necessarily from mothers, although I've seen it a few times. I actually see it from like grandparents a lot that, or uncle or aunt, they raised a kid and they said, I did enough. I brought them here. I raised them. I didn't need to get them their green card. And it's not enough. You got to help somebody when they're a kid get their green card because when they become adult, it becomes so much harder. Let me ask you a question. How did the mother get her green card? Do you know?
She got married.
She got married. And the husband never filed for this child or anything?
No.
Yeah, unfortunately, she's out of luck. She's 25 years old now. The mother could file for her, but it's going to take 7-8 years.
Wow.
This kid should have DACA. Does this kid have DACA? He's not a kid anymore, 25.
No, she doesn't have DACA.
Why not?
I don't know.
All right. So this is like one of those situations where you literally have an entire family of ostriches. I don't know what country these people are from, but they come from the ostrich family because they all took their head and put it in the sand and said la 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 la. I don't have to worry about it, but they do. She got a maniac in the White House. So I don't have an answer for this young lady yet, but I think she should have a consultation with me.
Okay.
All right.
I have another question, Brad.
Go ahead.
My friend, she was married to a U.S. citizen, and she had a 2-year, and now her husband went back to Jamaica, and he lives in Jamaica, and he doesn't want to come up and help her with finish her stay.
So the husband's the U.S. citizen. He moved back to Jamaica.
Yes.
Okay, so then she should divorce him. If he's not coming back to America, what good is he? She should divorce him and file on her own and prove that it was a real marriage. You had 3 kids. You're an unmarried mother. And you collected a lot of government assistance while you were going through school. You're in your 4th year in school at this present time. And you want to file
I was married before, but my husband moved to Mexico, so they couldn't open a child support case against him.
Okay.
And so I was going to school and couldn't, I was working, but just couldn't have enough to support 3 kids. So I was on public assistance for my U.S. citizen son, not me.
Okay.
Because I didn't qualify.
Sure.
But right now I have a 2-year-old and I'm married again to my U.S. citizen husband. I'm still going to school, but I'm not going to be on public assistance after I graduate because I'm going to get a full-time job.
Did your husband file for you already?
We're in the process of applying, so we're getting all the paperwork.
Okay. I would suggest to try to get it in before October 15th, but it's not the end of the world if you don't get it in by October 15th. I mean, everyone has this October 15th thing like, oh my God, the world's going to come to an end. A couple things with the rules on October 15th. If it's public assistance for U.S. citizen children, they're not going to count it against you. They're also not going to count it against you if you took public assistance while you were pregnant and sick, and I think it's 8 weeks after your pregnancy, you're still allowed to be on it. But what they are going to want to see, because there is some public assistance here, is obviously a good affidavit of support from your husband, but also that you're going to be able to be self-supportive. You're going to college, you're going to get a college degree. So I think by showing that you have a college degree, you're going to be able to stand on your feet. Really, that's what they want to see. You're going to have to fill out this whole 19-page form now about self-sufficiency, about how you're not going to be taking government assistance in the future. But having a college degree is going to go a long way to making them believe that you're going to be able to be self-sufficient and get a job and be able to support yourself.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for that. I have one more question.
Yes.
So I have a joint sponsor. He's making about $93K, which is more than enough to support us. But he filed as single when he's married. I'm not sure why. Will that be a problem?
Well, it could be a problem, but if he's going to file the affidavit of support on his own without, anybody else, I think that would be fine.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much,
You're
Brad.
very welcome. All right. Good luck.
I'm married to an American citizen, and I filed my paper. She filed my paper. I'm just asking you this question. I have a pending restraining order against my daughter's mom. So I'm wondering if that'll affect me, and I haven't sent in my medical.
Yes, if you have a pending restraining order, you cannot prove good moral character. That's just the law. And if you show up to an interview for adjustment of status, you got to prove you're a person of good moral character. Under the law, person with restraining order against them, bad moral character. So I wouldn't, the only thing you could, I don't know if there was any criminal charges with this, but assuming there's no criminal charges, you really need to speak to your criminal defense attorney and see how you can get that restraining order lifted, or you're going to have a problem.
So, okay, one more question. What if, because the restraining order finished on January 1st, what if my interview is after that?
Then you're okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, she has a 2-year green card.
Right.
So we're working on filing to have the conditions removed, right? So my thing is, I want to file a bankruptcy so I can reorganize myself.
That's
so I was trying to figure out if that would affect her case.
Not at all.
And getting the conditions removed.
Not at all.
Not at all?
No, because to remove the conditions, all you got to do is prove it's a bona fide marriage. It has nothing to do with your finances.
Okay, that's all.
But just know that to prove it's a bona fide marriage, you have to have joint finances.
Yeah, we do. We file taxes together
all right, so then you'll be fine.
year.
You'll be fine. Don't worry about the bankruptcy.
Okay.
All right, sleep well.
You got anything else you want to ask?
What if you're in a minor accident? Will that affect your case?
No, you're just either unlucky or a bad driver. All right.
Oh, that made it.
I told her the same thing.
All right.
I told her the same thing.
Anything else?
Y'all have a good day.
All right, thanks. All right.
I told her the same thing.
We starting problems in the house. It's like I told you, we're just a bad driver.
That's right.
So, like, I coming for the C1D visa. It's like 4 years ago.
Right.
I already applied in the asylum. Like, I married the U.S. citizen. Now a relation is ever no good. Then I applied to VAWA this week. I eligible to the status for United States, or I have to have leave country?
No, VAWA is one of the few visas that you can do an adjustment if you came on a C1D1. Even if you came without inspection, you can file an adjustment through VAWA, assuming it's now going to be extended, but yes.
Okay.
All right. That's it?
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
All
yeah.
Right. Okay.
My dad applied petition I-130 in March 2018. And the case still pending, and he applied for his wife and 3 kids. One of the kids is going to turn 21 in 2 months.
Is the father a U.S. citizen?
No, permanent resident.
They're citizens?
No, permanent resident.
All right, well, the kid who's going to turn 21, he's going to be SOL, which doesn't stand for statute of limitations, but it's, poop emoji out of luck, because the kid's going to turn 21.
Okay.
If it's been pending for how long now?
Since March 2018.
March 2018.
And it takes 24 months to process the case.
All right. What country are you from?
Yemen.
Yemen. It's going to take more than 24 months because you're from Yemen, okay? You're from, listen, I've never been to Yemen, but I've been to United Arab Emirates. I've been to Qatar. Okay, all lovely countries. I assume Yemen is too, although I think there's a civil war going on there right now, but assuming there was not a civil war there. I think you're going to need to file a mandamus or this case is going to take forever because you're on the poop emoji list, from Donald Trump.
Okay. And what is going to happen with the son, the 21 years old? It's going to take longer than the normal time, or
did he file a separate I-130 for the son?
For all of them, for the wife and 3 kids.
Okay, yeah, the son's going to take about another 4 or 5 years. Unfortunately, he's going to go into the F2B category.
That's for sure.
It sounds like it to me, but maybe you have a consultation. We'll see what we can do.
You think we should file mandamus?
You should do a mandamus, because if you do a mandamus and we get the I-130 approved, maybe we can get the son here under the Child Status Protection Act.
Okay.
All right, so
I will call the office.
Okay, hold on.
I came here in 2012 and I'm filing for asylum. So, but for some reason, my asylum was declined when I went for interview.
Right.
So they put me on removal proceeding.
Right.
So it's been there for heaven and ever, and they keep on postponing the dates. So eventually, I got married 2000. I found my wife, and I got married.
Right.
A U.S. citizen.
Right.
I went for the marriage interview 2017.
Passed it?
And 2018, I got approved in 2018.
Good.
So, but I don't know exactly what's going on right now.
So what you need to do is you need to make a motion to recalendar your case to get an earlier date to ask a judge to allow you to adjust your status. That's what's going on. So until you get before a judge and ask to adjust your status, You're just going to be sitting around.
So I already applied the I-485, and it's been there also 1 year.
But you need to get approval from a judge to do all of that. You just can't randomly file an I-485. The reason it's been sitting there is because you're still in removal.
Okay.
All right. So hold on.
Yes, excuse me. One more thing. So the removal board, they sent me to 2022 for final hearing.
So let's rewind a second. Rewind a second. I just finished telling you. I said what you need to do. You are in removal. You just can't randomly file an adjustment because now I'm married and I got an approved I-130. You got to get permission from a judge to do it. So the fact that you filed an I-485 and you're waiting 1 year has been a waste of your time and money. Okay. The judge is not going to see you. The judge sees 200 people a day. This judge has forgotten about you. Everyone has forgotten about you until 2022. When you show up in the courtroom and the judge will say, okay, you're here for your final asylum. And they'll say, wait a second, I got married and I got approved 4 years ago. And the judge will say, okay, I'm going to allow you to file your adjustment then. But what you want to do is you want to write a motion to the judge and say, can I get an earlier date? I don't need a hearing anymore. I don't need this whole trial for asylum because I got married. So I just need to show up in front of you for 3 minutes, show my approved I-130 and get your permission to file an adjustment because the other adjustment I filed was stupid because I shouldn't have done it without your permission.
When I was coming here, my daughter filed me. When I was coming, I speak to a lawyer. I was married to a man. I haven't seen the man for a donkey years. I don't know anything about him. I have a son for him. And I would like to put in filing for them when I reach 5 years. I wonder if that would be a problem on his birth certificate.
No, basically, you were married to a man. Let me translate Jamaican for those who are not Jamaican. Donkey years is like decades. And so she hasn't seen this guy in decades, doesn't know where this guy is, maybe over 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, whatever it is. How long?
Over 30 years.
30 years, okay. She has a son for him. I know it's donkey years is decades, but I don't know how many decades we're talking. And now she wants to file for a son. That's fine. Whether you got married or divorced, whether you know where this man is or not, he's an adult. Your name is on the birth certificate as a mother. That's all that's required.
Yeah, my name is
Janet. That's fine. That's fine. Whether you know where this guy may be dead for all you know, but it really doesn't matter. It makes no difference on your case, on your son's case.
Okay. Next question.
Yes.
I have a daughter and a son. My daughter has a son which is 18. He has a daughter that is 15 and a son that is 7.
Yeah,
my son has 2 babies now.
Okay.
One is born, one is unborn.
The
18 here. Can I put them on the filing together?
You can put them on, but it sounds like to me that the 18 and 15 may turn 21 before they get here. The younger ones will be fine. But put them all on.
I have a friend here. He got convicted of violating protection order. His girlfriend put that in. He ended up calling her something. But he was pending asylum case and how it's gonna affect him.
Depends what he was found guilty of.
Like contacting.
I don't know what contacting. I don't know what contacting means under Indiana Penal Code. If it's an aggravated felony, it could affect him. He would still get asylum, but probably be barred from getting a green card. If it's a crime of moral turpitude, he should be okay. I have no idea until we see what he has. But if he wants, he can make an appointment, and we'll review it. But I don't know what the penal code is in Indiana.
And one more question.
Yes.
Is there if he is found with that, because he did it twice or 3 times, I think, and is there a waiver or something because I watch your shows and you talk about waivers and stuff like that.
Well, asylum has different laws than the waivers that I always generally talk about are waivers for family-based petitions, but there are waivers for asylum as well. Depends what he was found guilty of. Okay, and asylum, the waivers, they give waivers for a lot more things than in family-based. All right, so hold on 1 second. You need a consultation.
My question is, I got married in 2015, in December 2015.
Mm-hmm.
I got my green card. I got the conditional of the 2 years.
Right.
I did it, but I received a letter a few months ago saying that because when I did it, I lived in Brooklyn, but now I moved to Yonkers.
Okay.
So I got a letter saying that they changed the jurisdiction on the case. And I haven't heard anything else. And
I thought you said you got approved.
No, at the 2 year, when I did this, I just sent in the...
Oh, you guys got an extension. So they changed the jurisdiction from what to what?
That's what on the letter that I get.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know what that means.
So I'm wondering if because I moved from Brooklyn.
It means no, because Brooklyn, Yonkers, you would still be at 26 Federal Plaza. Either you're reading the letter wrong and they just said that we updated your address, or it's possible, probably it's possible that they transferred your case to a different immigration office just for processing.
Yes, that's what they're saying.
Right, yeah, but that had nothing to do with your move. You're still going to get your interview at 26 Federal Plaza.
I was just wondering, but it's taking a long time now.
How long?
So I did it from last year, October.
If it's over 18 months, you can file a mandamus.
I would love to come and
All right, come see me. Hold on. Thanks for watching. For more Bradshaw Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.